Opening mail packs. The video where I open my mail as if it's sealed boosters because I forgot what I ordered. It's Leah here. We've got another mail pack today. They're still coming in super slow while I save up for that vacation, and yet I still seem to think there's cards that I absolutely need outside of going to a vacation. So I guess we'll see what it is I absolutely had to have. Piece of black envelope. Different. Seems protective. Okay. Did that. Cards and some plastic. Okay, so this seems to be all the cards that we ordered. So we've got, whenever a forest comes into play, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain trample till the end of turn. Well, this seems like a handy dandy card, doesn't it? Discard another card. Well, that's never going to go off in EDH. Unless I make some sort of like weird copy of him and then put him back in my hand so that he can see himself. Probably not worth the effort for a worm unless I have a lot of lands, like 15 lands. And I could have a 15/15 if I do an awful lot of setup. Awful lot. Scarblade Elite. So this is a card that cares about assassins as a tribe. There's not like a lot of those, but there are some commanders that are assassins. So it could be an interesting card to use. Creatures and lands you control can't be the target of spells or abilities. Seems super handy. Kind of interesting art. However, if you attack, it gets sacrificed, but there's so many decks that just win on the combo anyways. This is a perfectly fine and fair card, right? Stir the Grave. This looks like a card I would enjoy. Return target creature with converted mana X or less from graveyard to play. Yep. Graveyard recursion. Straight and simple. Reciprocate. Remove from the game target creature that dealt damage to you this turn. Nice exile for one. You have to take the hit, but it's a good backup. Dense Canopy. Creatures with flying can't block creatures without flying. So this is a nice way for green to get in a board full of flyers, since green doesn't really fly. The 1/1 green snake creature token into play for each card in your hand. Seems pretty cool. I was going to put this in my snake tribal deck whenever I get around to making that. And it's going to be a blue-green deck, I think. So then I should be able to fill my hand up pretty good. It does have Epic on it, though. So I have to be careful. If I pick up my whole library, I can't play any of those cards. I just have a whole bunch of snakes. So it's, I don't know. I'm willing to try it at least once. Legendary creature. He deals 1 damage to target creature or player. If a creature dealt damage by him would be put in the graveyard, it gets exiled. But you can also mana sink him. It's not a tap ability, so you could do more than one. You could do as much as you need if you had enough mana. Sacrifice any number of lands, add 1 to your mana pool for each land sacrifice this way. So typical red, if you're out of options, sacrifice your stuff for more options. Reweave. Target permanent controller sacrifices it. That player reveals cards from the top of his or her library until he or she reveals a card that shares a type with the sacrifice permanent. Okay, so I guess that would be more like like if you sacrifice an enchantment, then you reveal until you find another enchantment, as opposed to like if you sacrifice an elf, you search for another elf. I think it's just on the regular type, not the subtype. Then that card goes into play. So it's kind of like a sort of like a blue Chaos Warp, a little bit expensive for a Chaos Warp though, because it's 5 in a blue, so you wouldn't really be using it. Okay. Can't be countered, has Bushido 2, and you can pay 2 to regenerate target samurai. I remember looking at this card on the internet and getting really excited for some reason that is now utterly unclear to me. Utterly unclear. I have no idea. Maybe I was going to build a deck around him. Maybe it'll come back to me why I needed this card. Or any of these cards. I don't know. I mean, it kind of looks like I was on a Kamigawa kick. Kamigawa's block. Oh, yeah. Aside from these three here, there's definitely a Kamigawa block kick going on. That's a block that could use, like, I don't know, a remastered reprint, kind of like they did Time Spiral, but actually print enough for people to have. And it would be interesting to see some more Kamigawa out in the wild. It would.